You know, people just don't get it. Everyone in government has a bar association license. Every one of them. They work for Britain. London created the Bar Association. It resides in London. They got to go through, they got to be put under the Bar Association of London to be able to act as what they act as. Lawyers, judges, governors, they're all lawyers. They're all part of the Bar Association, and so is Trump. You can't run for president unless you're a lawyer, a member of the Bar Association. It's a cult. The Bar Association belongs to London. The original Bar Association is located in London. They all answer to the King of London. Used to be the Queen. Now it's the King. That's how it works. London created Admiralty law, maritime law, law of the sea. And under the Bar Association, they are attached to that. So they are enforcing Admiralty law upon the land. They're not enforcing law of the land that is called common law. They're enforcing Admiralty law. Liberty is a word used in Admiralty law. It gives the ships come, and the captains of those vessels, they ask for permission to dock. And so they have the liberty to ask the country that they've gotten to if they could have permission to pull up to their docks. That's how that works. We don't have liberty in America under common law. In reality, we have freedom, life, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty was just added into it to put you back, to keep you in their jurisdiction of Admiralty law. Yeah, even in Admiralty law, you have the right to life. And you have the right to the pursuit of happiness. But you do not have a right to freedom under liberty. You ask for permission to go fishing, and you pay for it. You ask for permission to go hunting, and you pay for it. You ask for permission to drive or to travel, drive, whatever, and you pay for it. You ask for permission to create a business so you can make money. And you have to, for all of these, you have to sign a contract, so you have to give them money. It's all about money. You're not free. You never have been free, and you never will be. Admiralty law was created a long time ago. Before the 1700s, the 1800s, it was created a long time ago. And every country is ran under Admiralty law under London. Britain runs everything. The central banking system, they run it. The big banks, they own and run them. And now it did, Trump did make me like him better, but in reality, they have to get everybody on their side to say what needs to be said, to make you like them. They got to tell you what you want to hear, so then you can take and go, I like them. Just because I heard what that he or she said. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes for you to like them and want to vote for them. If I sat here and said everything you like, you would like me. But if I said things that you didn't like, you would hate me. You would discredit me. All because you're a hypocrite. Everybody's a hypocrite. Because they'll say, I like everybody. I love everybody. I want to be friends with everybody. But then you turn around and do what everybody else does that you don't like. America and every other country in this world is full of hypocrites. Nobody acts like that. Y'all need to wake up to the fact. Nobody acts like that. It don't matter. Oh, you can have a difference of opinion, but then when someone says something you really don't like, oh, that difference of opinion? No, fuck you now. I don't like you no more. That's how life works. And so in order for these people in this fake government, that's a corporation that was created in 1871, the Organic Act of 1871, that eliminated the North American government, because Ulysses S. Grant went into debt because he got in after Abraham Lincoln was murdered, and because he would do what the Rothschilds wanted him to do. And and they funded him. But then he couldn't pay them back by 1871 when he won the war in 1865. And so he had to sign on the dotted line his Ulysses S. Grant signature, because he's a traitor. He had to sign North American government over to the Rothschilds of England that funded him to win the Civil War. That's how it worked. You can look up the Organic Act of 1871. It will tell you what we are under. This government has been lying to you. Trump's not bringing up that we're under Admiralty law, that the Organic Act of 1871 was created to eliminate the North American government. We don't have the Constitution that we had then. The Constitution we have today is a different Constitution. It was changed. I don't believe that the warrant bullshit was put in the Fourth Amendment back then. I don't believe that. Because everyone has a right, period. Unless you create a victim. That's the only thing that was not, I don't believe, was put in the Fourth Amendment, that without that if you make a state or the U.S. federal government entities a victim, then you've committed a crime. And they can use a warrant to arrest you. No. That's not the way the law works. The law of the land works. If you create a victim, which is a human or nowadays an animal that has eyes and a brain, a business, it can't be a victim all by itself. A single business. Only the owner can be the victim that owns the business. So they should not be putting the business name in anything, because the business is not a victim. It don't have eyes and a brain. Only a victim that has eyes and a brain can be victimized, stolen from, hurt. Now, There is such a thing as property damage, but if you damage property that someone owns, that person's the victim because you damaged their property. If there was property out there nobody owned, nobody, and you destroyed it, there's no victim. You can destroy a rock. Nobody owns that rock. It can't be a victim, and it's never seen as a victim. You can destroy a tree, and it can't be seen as a victim because no one owns that tree. Now, if it's in somebody's yard, on their property, then yes, you created a victim. You destroyed somebody's property, or you stole something from somebody. You created a victim. This ain't a victim because you stole it, you took it, or you destroyed it. This ain't the victim. Government ain't the victim. And so they never claim that the governors who don't even own, or we the people we the people own the government. They destroyed it. They turned it into, they destroyed the North American government. And they created the corporation. So they victimized the American people when they destroyed the government, and so did Ulysses S. Grant. So we were victimized. Our government and our original Constitution was destroyed. And they created a corporation and then their own Constitution. Yeah, there's the Bill of Rights. But then there's exceptions to the rules put in the Fourth Amendment. That's the only one that has an exception to the rules when it comes to your property. Under maritime law, you have no property. You have no property rights. You're taxed under maritime law, admiralty law. Goods and services are taxed under the UCC law, Uniform Commercial Code. That was created for commercial business. And when they created the all caps name, it was to turn you into a corporation, a business to do business with. Because that's the only things they can do business with is corporations with an all caps name. I mean, in the very, very far past, there was no all caps name. That was created after 1913. There was no all caps name. They created that later on. And they attached you to the Uniform Commercial Code when they created your name, when they turned your name into all capital letters for their business or benefit to do business with you and make money. That's how it works. That's why your name is in all caps on that state-issued license or ID. It belongs to them. I've seen cops say to people when they say, I have a Fourth Amendment. This is my property. I don't have to give it to you. And the cop says, no, that belongs to the state. It does not belong to you. So you have to give it to me. Because they work for the state. And they need that license that belongs to the state, and you have the privilege to use that you pay for a tax every 4 years. It's a tax. That's a tax. To have something, it's not yours. It belongs to them. And you can look this up. Who owns the driver's license? Who owns the IDs? Who makes them? You don't make them. You can make your own ID. You really can. You can legally make your own ID to take yourself out of that system, and you can have it notarized. And then they have to accept it as a real ID. And it has your name the way you write it. None of it in all caps. So then when you hand them that license that has been certified to be real, they can't attach you to the all caps business name because you're giving them an ID that don't have it. They want the ID that has that, so they got jurisdiction over you and can make you do what they want. That's why they order people around. That's why they can put their hands on you. Because you have that state created ID that belongs to the state to own you. They use it to own you. You are a corporation that they created, and once you said, yes, this is me, well, you consented to them turning you into a business. So they created you into a business with your consent. Ignorant consent. That's all they need. Ignorant consent. Ignorant consent to register yourself to the government to vote. So whoever you vote for, whoever wins the vote, don't matter who it is, they own you. You gave them consent of ownership of you when you signed that contract on the dotted line saying, I'm going to vote for this president to own me. They're your rulers. They own you. That's how it works. You are owned. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can do all the research on it, and I dare you to prove me wrong. Do the research. Show me something that says that license, that the state created, that commercial business license, because that's what it is. They need you to give them that business license so they can do business with you. Without it, they can't write you no tickets. They can't arrest you and throw you in jail to do business with you. Oh, but then if you don't have one and they really want to know who you are, they can arrest you anyways without a crime because they want to know who you are. They want to put you in their system. All right, this one's in our system. And then they'll tag you on everything else that's your name that is in all capital letters in the insurance companies, the loan, car loan companies, or you get a loan on yourself. That's how they make their money. Taxation. Without that all caps corporate name, they can't make no money off you. They can't tax you. Look at your W-2 form. Your name is in all capital letters. And when you sign on the dotted line, you consent to letting them take your money, their half first, and then give you your money you worked hard for. You ain't a taxpayer. You're not paying taxes. You're not getting all your money and to say, hey, I'll give you my part. I'll sign on the dotted line, then I'll give you my part and mail it to them. That ain't happening. You ain't free. Nobody's free. We're forced into taxation. We're forced to have licensing to be able to eat, to live, hunt, fish, and travel. So you could be able to get to where you need to get to so you could eat. You can't eat. You're not free. You can't go out there when you're starving and your children's starving and go fish without asking permission and paying for it to go fish for food, to go hunt for food, to go forage for food out in the wilderness. You can't do that. You're a slave. And slavery never ended. If slavery ended, Why do they have these slave laws that still exist? Because if slavery ended, all the laws the government created for black people would have been eliminated. These laws can't exist. They were created for black slaves by the United States government. All these court case laws under the Bar Association was created to enslave black people. And they still use black people to create more laws, to enslave them more, but to enslave us with too. Because after 1955, they decided to back off the black people and start enslaving the white people too. Not just the black people. So they can make it look like slavery ended. Trump knows this. They all know this. They all know how this government works. Trump's going to say just a few enough of the right things, and then he's going to see more and more people. It's like, yeah, he's saying more of what I like. Oh, he just said another thing. You don't hang with him. You don't know him. You don't party with him. You don't sit with him at his house and go hang out with him wherever he goes. They're actors. They can separate each other from, separate themselves from each other on purpose to fool you into thinking, oh, he ain't with these. Trump was all over Epstein. And you can see the videos. Trump was all up beside old Epstein. Blah, 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 blah. And Epstein sitting there, acting like he really don't give a damn about Trump. And then Trump, everybody saying, oh, Trump didn't care about Epstein. Well, if that was true, he didn't respect Epstein, then why is he smiling at a party and in Epstein's ear? Why is he in Epstein's ear like he's looking up to him? If Trump was the man he's pretending to be, Epstein would have been that way. Because Epstein was in charge. And maybe Trump was on the side of Epstein and helped together, both of them together, get all the dirt on these motherfuckers so they can get what they want. I don't believe Epstein's dead. I believe he's off safe somewhere else, hidden, on land that is protected, down south, at the bottom of the fucking planet, if this planet is a sphere. We don't know what it is yet, until we get to find out. Because they have their ships, all these countries that have ships, they're everywhere, and they're preventing anybody that is a regular American, a regular person, a civilian, from going all the way to the supposed South Pole or the wall of a supposed flat planet, because they don't want us to find out the actual truth. I question both. I don't know what it is, because there is no actual proof. Everything's fake. And everybody's trying to, guess this, guess that. Yeah, some things make sense on a sphere, and a few things make sense on flat Earth. But until we actually find out the actual physical proof, all we're doing is hating each other, and bickering at each other like they want. That's how it works, people. They don't want us getting together and just going, hey, let's just get together and go. We could get together at all 8 points. North Pole, South Pole, East Pole, West Pole, North, West, Northeast, Southeast, Southwest. If we got enough people together and enough ships at each point, just spreading out, but staying close enough to see each other. They can't stop us all from getting there. Their boats can't move that fast on that water. They're too big, and they're propellers, whatever you want to call them. They don't move them that fast, so they can't catch up to all of us and stop us. That's the problem. We're not rising up and doing what we need to do to find out. We're listening to these fools that the minority or half the country, or not even half the country, there's 200 million grown adults, and they say there's 100 and something million people that voted. How many of those people was dead people? How many of those votes were animal votes? Names of animals. They sent a few voting register papers to certain homes. Mexicans, they got more than one. And guess what? When they were running the votes through the machine couldn't tell that the vote you already ran through, already ran it through. So you could run it through it again, and it counts it again. Then you can run it through it again, and it counts it again. How many people really voted? Nobody will ever know, because they have the info. Trump knows. He ain't telling you. I got all the names of everybody. Here's a carrot. Vote for me, and I'll let you know. Hook, line, and sinker. Okay, I'll vote for you so we can find out, because you say what I like to hear you say, that I want to hear you say. They know how to play the game. They're all actors. He's been on TV to act, to learn how to act. He's a good actor. And the ones being the bad ones, they're good actors too, because it's part of the plan. Trust the plan. They've planned this over 100 years ago or 200 years ago. They planned World War I. They planned World War II. They planned World War III. They're going to pull off World War III in this country. They done planned it. That's what these invaders are here for. That's what Trump can't let these, he's just playing along so you don't rise up and do what you need to do. You're going to wait for something that ain't going to come. And by the time it's nearly here, it's too late, because we'll be at war. I believe he's playing you. He's playing us all. That's what I believe. And if you don't like it, well, that's your problem. I have a difference of opinion, but you're going to be a hypocrite and go against what you say and hate on me and discredit me. Because that's what you've been taught to do. Everybody's been taught by them to do that. TV, movies, computer, social media got worse, made it worse. Social media made it a hell of a lot worse in this country. They said the past, after they came out with computers, it's been said. Computers are going to ruin this country. This country will fall because of computers. And they were right. There was someone that said, yeah, because a woman told me, older woman, her dad's gone. She said, my dad told me one day when he was looking at them old TVs back in the day, the original TVs, they're going to have a camera in them one day and be watching you in your own house. He was right. Samsung came out with it. They were the first to come out with it. I believe it was Samsung. I may be wrong. It may be a different one. But I believe it was Samsung. And then eventually, because the word was getting out, they told you the truth in a little bitty form, and they put down there, yeah, be careful what you say. You are being listened to. And now you're being watched. You put one of those new TVs in your child's room, and your child's in that bedroom, in that room running around naked, which is normal for you because it's a little child and they're your child. You're not somebody else that's, freaky with children. They're watching and they're enjoying it. They put cameras in teddy bears. They put cameras in all kinds of toys. Look at when it came out that kids were handed toys that could talk. It was fixed up to where someone could hack into it and talk to the children. See, they mess with the children's toys. They mess with the TVs because they want in your house. They want to see everything in your home. They want to know everything about you. That's what this system was created for. That's what the money, well, not the money, that's what credit cards were created for. When they created credit cards, they created them so they can know what you're buying. Everything, goes into the system. Because I bet you, when those receipts were printed, there was something else printing what you bought. And then it was sent to the government. They have separate receipts to send to the government. But now they have computers in the stores. So it can be held, up in the computer, and you still get a receipt, but they still know what you're buying. And then they went to debit cards because not enough people was banking and getting credit cards through the banks, so they created debit cards. And so, well, maybe enough people will go to debit cards and we can eliminate this fiat money we created. Didn't work. Too many people, majority of people still wanted to use money, even if they had a debit card. I had debit cards. I got debit cards. I still use money. The only time I use a debit card is when I got to order something off the fucking internet, and then they know what I ordered. No right to privacy. That's what they've been after. Eliminating your right to privacy. And they wanted you to think that way. They got you to think like that. You're fools. You're participating in a system that was created by a cult. The Britons in London. The Bar Association is a cult. And they own and run everything in this country and other countries through the central banking system. Russia recently ended the central banking system in their country because they don't want them knowing what's going on in their country. They finally figured it out. They didn't know. And Putin finally figured it out. Don't know how, because I've been recently, and it was before I've been recently talking about the central banking system. And after I started talking about the central banking system, guess what? I heard that Russia had ended the central banking system before I started talking about it. Because that's who's in control of the economy, all these corporations, the corporate the United States government, the United States of America Incorporated. That's what we're under. We're under a name. That's not the name of America, this country. This country is America. It's always been America. They use that label, a name, and then they say this is the U.S. of America, or the U.S. of A. And it's not. It belongs to the Britons. They own that name. Do they own this country? Pretty much they do. Until we kick out the central banking system. When we kick the central banking system out, in which the best way to do it is to pull your money out of them big banks. When you pull your money out of them big banks, and enough people in this country does, watch what happens. Either a war will start or they'll fall. One or the other is going to happen. But no matter what, they're still going to create a war in this country. Because that's what they do to countries when they want to destroy them and change them into something else. They did it to Palestine, 1948. And then they created Israel. They moved Palestinians from there to somewhere else. And then they moved the Jews over there and called it Israel. And the Zionists took on Judea to be secret. You know, I'm Judea. Zionism don't exist. You know, conspiracy theorists. Well, it's finally being recognized. Zionism exists. And that's who's been running everything. Guess what? If you're for Israel and you put that Zionist cap on your head, as Trump did, Biden did, Bush did, all of them did, and went over there and put their hand on that wall and, you know, and whatever else, they bowed to them. They're owned by them. They're Zionists. They put that cap on their head, they're Zionists. Biden said plain and clear, you do not have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. Anybody can be a Zionist. And most of the Masons, if there are any good ones, most of the Masons, or the ones calling themselves Masons, are evil. There is a set of Masons that are good and kind of are fighting against it. There's not enough of them. They can't stop it. They haven't been able to all the way up to this point. Until we, the American people, stand up, get out there, protest, and say, you know, F you, get the hell out of here. All these notices and stuff, putting them on notice and crap, yeah, it works here and there, local. The U.S. Supreme Court is part of the Bar Association. They all wear the tribunal, maritime law, black robes. Every one of them. These traffic courts, they're tribunal courts. It's coming out. There's only one judge. It might be more than one, but I believe there's only one judge that wears a robe. It may be yellow. You know, not black, but still part of the Bar Association, the Zionist, London-created Bar Association. The only school they can go to learn this stuff is in London. They don't learn it here. They learn it in London. And then they do it how they want you to do it here. Or you can't have that license and you can't make these millions a year, tens of millions of dollars a year. You think that the lawyers are going to get together with the sheriffs when they swore an oath to the Bible to protect, to uphold, defend and protect the United States Constitution and the state's Constitution, and they're sitting here and they're upholding and protecting and defending admiralty law in America so they can rip us off in these fake traffic courts. These judges are nothing but agents of a department. They're not going to tell you that. I guarantee you. They don't want you to know. They're agents of a department. They're not judges. They're not real justice of the peace. It's a lie. You've been tricked. You've been deceived. You can believe what you want, but it's coming out. And I guarantee you, everyone that finds out that when it finally comes out that I was right, you know what's going to happen? They're still going to put their nose up at me and not apologize for the way they treated me. Because they're just like the rest of the Democrats. You've all been conditioned to act like Democrats, but think you're something else. Democrats participate in having rulers and authority to rule over everybody. That's a democracy. That's terrorism. I am being terrorized to do what someone others elected wants to do for them. And then, oh, I'm doing it, you're doing it too. We're going to force you to do it. You're a Democrat. You're not a Republican. You're not a conservative. You're not a patriot. If you're for what the Democrats are for, the barrel of a gun, you're going to pay taxes. At the barrel of a gun, you're going to live your life my way. At the barrel of a gun, you can't do this and that on your own property. Gun at your face, your head. Oh, you can't take care of your kids like that because all these people said so. You're not free. You all are hypocrites. You're not free. So, y'all enjoy your enslavement and start realizing and admitting you're a Democrat in reality, because you're not what you say you are. If you want authority that has no authority over you to have authority over you, you're only consenting to letting them have that. There's nothing in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights and the amendments to the Constitution 11 through 27 that gives any state and or the U.S. government the authority to create departments of authority to enforce their statutes, doctrines, policies, regulations, edicts, rules, mandates, ordinances, and codes upon all of us. There's nothing. It says law, the law of the land, the Bill of Rights, the first 10. That's it. The first 10 right there protects us from the states and the United States government. They have to abide by it. They swore the oath. Did you put your hand on the Bible and say, I swear an oath to uphold, defend, protect, and defend the United States Constitution and the state's Constitution? Did you do it? It's not yours. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. They did it. That's their job. They are to obey it. They are to uphold it, which is enforce it. Protect it, defend it. To protect us from them. You think they're going to sit there when they start getting sociopaths in there? I'm not protecting the American people from this. Because then I can't make all this money. I can't tax them. We the people cannot be taxed. We the people cannot be owned. We the people cannot be forced to have a license for anything. Nothing in any of that says they have that authority, that right, that implied power to make all these things that they're allowed to make. But the draft, it states plain and clear in the U.S. Constitution that the draft can only be used upon those who work in the United States government. So they can only draft their own employees, which are our employees. I mean, those ones our employees hire as their employees. Well, if our employees work for us, do what we want, they had to tell their employees to do what we want too. Because we're not to give them the authority to say that they can tell their employees that they can have authority over us. They don't have that right. They don't have that implied power. But y'all gave it to them through ignorant consent because they deceived you and got you to believe what you believe. We don't need to participate in this government. It's not there for us. Elections are actually for those who work in that corporation. The governors, the mayors, the police, all of them who swear an oath, they're the voters. They're the ones who can vote who they want to be their top boss, the president of that corporation. All corporations has a president and executive branch, whatever. Military has a major, corporal, lieutenant, Why do police have that ranks? Police ain't supposed to have ranks like a army, military organization does. A department. They're not supposed to have that. You know why they have that? Because they are an army. They are militarized police. They have guns. They may not have grenades, but they have flashbangs that do blow up and hurt babies and hurt children and hurt other people if it explodes in a violent manner, throwing pieces everywhere to hit people. It's still a grenade. It's just not enough to blow you to pieces and kill you unless it hits you in the right spot. Unless a piece hits you in the right spot and you bleed all out and then you die. You're a casualty of war. It's a war in this country. And it's a war on you and me on what they say you and me have is now illegal. You have a gun. Well, we say it's now illegal. Well, they're going to war with you. They're not going to war with the gun. They're going to war with you to take your gun. To come to your door with their guns and take yours. That's what the police do. That's what the sheriffs do. That's what the red flag law was for. So these militarized police, law enforcement, are militarized police. They're military, under martial law. They're military street police. Go out on the streets of America to harass and murder the public if you say, no, I'm going to fight for my right to have this, that the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. But y'all don't know what that phrase means. Y'all, that common sense shall not be infringed. What? I don't know what that means. They can do it. They said so. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are just stupid. Y'all need to wake up to what we're under. We're under maritime law, Admiralty maritime law of the sea. The Constitution has already been dissolved. Until these courts are eliminated, these traffic courts, state courts can exist. Because that's where murderers, thieves, violent people, that's where they're to go, to the state court for creating victims who have eyes and a brain. If you have eyes and a brain and you've been victimized, well, that other person, well, they get to go to the court and go, they get to go to jail. They're presumed under maritime law, presumed innocent. You're not guaranteed innocence until proven guilty in a court of law. You have presumed innocence. And so they can arrest you. What they're supposed to do Let's gather up all the evidence. I need all the evidence, and then I can take it to the judge, and then the judge looks at it all. Oh, he created a victim and did this, stole from them. Oh, he hurt them. Oh, he damaged their property. Oh, he murdered this person. Oh, he killed this person, and we think it's murder, and we're going to have to gather up more evidence to make sure it was murder. They don't do that, and then the judge says, okay, I believe that this is solid enough. Here's a warrant. Go get him. Go get that person. Oh, they used that vehicle in a crime to create a victim. Oh, here's a warrant. Get that. Go arrest this person and take their property. Oh, here's where you got to search also to find that we got a warrant for. Oh, we got to search the safe. They may have it in a safe. We heard they may have it in a safe. Well, here, in a safe, you can go search it. It's legal. It's in a warrant. That's the way it's supposed to work. It don't work like that no more. It used to be a policeman's job to risk his life, or in the past, his life. Because they never hired women for police back then. They were peace officers. They were never considered to be police. They were called peace officers. Cop, the word cop, C-O-P. Each letter stands for a word. Look it up. Each letter, C-O-P, stands for words. C is for a certain word. I forget what it was. I heard what it was, but I forgot. I heard it once. But C belongs to a word. It's just a 3-letter agency. Cop. 3-letter. They're not cops. They're not police. Police is another word for policy. They just take off the E and take off the Y, put an E. And now you have police. They're policy enforcers. They're statute enforcers. They enforce regulations, codes, edicts, mandates, ordinances, regulations, whatever. That's what they enforce. They don't enforce the laws of the U.S. Constitution. Traffic court, the traffic law or statutes, it's above the U.S. Constitution. And so they write something down saying, yeah, we could take your property just for not having insurance. You didn't create a victim while you didn't have insurance. You didn't create a victim while you didn't have insurance. We just see you don't have insurance, so we're going to arrest you and steal your property from you. Just because we can. We're protected. We got qualified immunity from being thrown in jail for stealing your property. Even if they was caught and you know the law and you sue them the right way and everything, they don't go to jail. They'll get vacation with pay. Oh, I'm going to go over here and have fun and be on vacation while I'm getting paid, while my people is doing an investigation on me. And then they eventually said, oh, he was in the right. Or she, today. She was in the right. We investigated our own people. They're in the right. They did no wrong. Unless enough people in America, enough Americans get together and says something. Then we're going to have to throw you under the bus. Sorry. And then they arrest their own. But when they do, they don't put their hands behind their back where it'll hurt and all that. They put it in front. And they don't, oh, you did this. Oh, we're going to be violent. Oh, you're a danger to us. Bang! They never do that to one of their own. Never. They never go and bust down their door to arrest them for committing a real crime when they did. They're very gentle, and they don't put them cuffs on tight, because they tell each other that. It'll be okay. Don't really resist, because we're going to have to arrest you one day when the people rise up. If they don't like something that you did when it gets out and around the population. They're protected. They got qualified immunity from going to jail or prison. Unless enough people rises up. They get fired. They don't lose their peace officer's license when they get fired for murder. They don't go to prison if not enough people rise up. Or just shooting someone and wounding them. Or making them bash their head against the concrete when they tase them because they're chasing them. They're not a danger to no one. They're just running. Oh, you're running from a traffic stop. I got to be violent, and usually pull a gun out and bang, 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 bang. You may have a gun and you're running from me. You may not have shot at any of us, even though you got a gun in your hand. But you know what? We're still going to gun you down for officer safety. And then public safety. Oh, we had to do it for officer safety and public safety. The officer safety comes first, not the public's. So they can flat out murder you under Pennsylvania versus Mims. Officer safety. Because they're coming after the guns and they want to kill those who have guns when they notice you have a gun. In Texas, we can walk around with a rifle for free. Freely. Walk around with a rifle strapped to. I don't see it going on in San Angelo. You know why? Even though it's legal, those cops will pull their guns out and say freeze, and we're disarming you for officer safety. So that way now you're unsafe from us while we're still pointing our guns at you and trigger happy, and those light triggers that don't take much to accidentally go click. Oh shit, I shot him. Oh well, it was an accident. And nobody really rises up and says anything. Oh, he had a gun and they say he was a criminal, so we'll just believe it. That's how it works. You just believe them at face value without doing any research and making sure they're telling you the truth. That's just the way the whole system works. Under maritime law, they can do this. Because they're military police and the government created laws and the legislative branch that don't have that right to create laws have created so-called laws. They're called statutes. That's all they can create is statutes and doctrines. And said it's the law. Oh, he broke the law. Well, it's okay. Because you sit here and ignorantly believe from their mouth that it's a law. Nothing in the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and the state's Constitution gives any of them the right to do what they're doing to me and you. Nothing. You can research it all day. You can research it all your life. You're not going to prove me wrong. You can blah, 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 make fun of me, call me names, say I'm this, say I'm that. I don't care. But you know what? When I get tired of you, I'm just going to blip and block you. Because you're stupid. I can't deal with stupid people forever. They ignorantly back democracy, terrorism. It states plain and simple in the Declaration of Independence, U.S. Constitution, States Constitution. We are a republic. You won't find the words democracy in them or that we're under a democracy. Declaration of Independence, I believe, does state what a democracy is, and that's not what we are, and that's what we're against. I need to read it. But I do know that that's not what we're supposed to be under. There's no such thing as a democratic republic. That's a lie. And you believed it at face value. They know what they're talking about. They're of the government. They're a governor. They're a mayor. They're the police chief. Oh, they know it all. No, they don't. All they know is this is how it's done by the Bar Association of London. They teach them the right shit. You know, they learn them the right shit. But then when they get out to do the job, forget about that you learned. Here's how we do it. And they give them what they need to give them. And the cops teach the newbies the new shit, the other shit under estoppel by conduct. They work under estoppel by conduct. They're not law enforcers of the Bill of Rights, that is the law of the land. They're statute enforcers and claiming that it's law when it's not claimed as law in the United States Constitution, the state's Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence. Read them, people. Don't just sit here and just, I'll just believe these other stupid psychopaths and act like them. That's what y'all do. You'll always do that until it's right there slapping you in the face so hard that maybe you'll see it. But there's us few who knows that there are people out there when it's standing right there in front of their face and punching them. They're not going to know what's going on. They're not going to feel it. They're not going to see it. They're not going to sense it. It's like you're punching a brick wall. That's what they are. You can't make it, them feel it, sense it. You can't make them sense something's going on, that whatever. I can't think of it. But, they can't realize it. They don't have enough sense to see the common sense and everything. They just want to sit here and believe what they hear from these stupid psychopaths. Only psychopaths want to be a leader. You create a position of leadership. Governor, mayor, police chief. They're only the bosses of who they hire. Did they hire you to work for them? Did they hire you to follow their orders? Did they hire you to do what they want? No. But under slavery, do what I want. Give me that ID. I need that ID. You got any guns in there? Gun! Bang, bang, bang! And all they gotta do is see it. You don't have to point it at them. All they gotta do is see it. It can be sitting in your other seat and you ain't touching it. And for officer safety, he's got a gun. And I'm afraid for my life. And they actually act like this. But you want to be blind. And say, oh, that person had a gun illegally. There's no such thing as an illegal gun. Legality is under Admiralty Maritime Law. Legal is a term under Admiralty Maritime Law. The only things that's not under that is under common law, is law. Unlawful and lawful. That's it. Look in the U.S. Constitution. Look in the Declaration of Independence. You won't see the words legal, illegal. Because those words are used for the sea. They're not used for the land. But they're using them upon us on the land. Illegally and unlawfully. Because it is illegal for them to use maritime law on the land. And it is unlawful and unconstitutional and treasonous for them to use maritime law upon the land. Either way you look at it, it's illegal and it's unlawful and it's unconstitutional. I don't care how you see it. Your 2 cents when you don't, want to do the research and make sure you're right and I'm wrong. You're stupid. There's something wrong with you. It is a fact, like a judge has to prove you to be guilty, you got to prove me to be wrong. I'm guilty of being wrong. Because I said and did something, or did something wrong. So you got to bring up the evidence. And then I can look at it and say, okay, yeah, I agree I'm wrong if I'm wrong. Because I will agree if I'm wrong. Y'all won't. You'll turn up their nose. I'm never wrong. Fuck you. I'm a sociopath. I hope something bad happens to you. I hope they break your windows. I hope they shoot you. You're a psychopath. You're for violence. You're for victim creation. And you'll never get out of it. Because you got no common sense. You don't want to have it. You just want to back these psychopaths. Because you believe what they told you to believe, what they indoctrinated to you to believe, what they brainwashed you to believe. Voting works! We'll just tell you what you want to hear. But then once we're in, first 2.5 years, we're going to be doing something else. Their actions speak louder than their words. Oh, election year's coming up. It's time to start doing something to get more people on our side, make ourselves look better. They'll forget about what we did for 2.5, nearly 3 years. And then election year, they'll come to their senses, their ignorant senses, and vote us back in. Yeah, these voters are fools. I can just tell them what they want to hear when the election year comes up, and they'll just believe the bullshit, and then we're still in to rule over them because they're consenting through ignorant consent to let us rule over them when they're the ones that are the sole rulers of the United States government and the states that they created. They created us like you create a child. Would you put your child as your ruler, your parent, to say what you can and cannot do when they get old enough to talk and kind of realize, yeah, I can tell you what to do. I can control you. You wouldn't do that. Why are you doing it with this shit that the people in the past created to give all of us in the future ownership of too? We own it. Oh, no, wait a minute. Organic Act of 1871 eliminated that government that we, the people of the past, created. And then Ulysses S. Grant said, I need some funds. I don't want to lose the war. The South will win. Give me some money, Rothschilds. Here. And he won. I can't pay you back. By 1871, he had a deadline. You can't pay us back. And we got this created, this contract, Organic Act of 1871, to eliminate the North American government. Sign it. Sign it over to us. And they changed up the U.S. Constitution, and they eliminated the North American government, and they created a corporation to make money. They didn't create the immigration system back then. Statue of Liberty, come from your country, come here. We want more people here. But the Statue of Liberty, liberty, permission. I got the liberty to ask you for permission to dock up to your docks. Pull up to your docks and sit up there, bring my stuff in. Pay you a tax so we can make money, or you can make money while we make money. That's what it was created for. This ain't no government. It's a corporation. And the sooner you realize that, the better off we'll be when we eliminate it. Because there's actually no government to abolish. There is a corporation that is at war with us with all these other corporations that it helped create. We are ruled over by corporations. We're not ruled over by a government. Corporations, there's nothing in the U.S. Constitution that says corporations can create laws to enforce upon you. The states that belong to the government, they're actually corporations. State of Texas is a corporation. Now, in America, and you can look all this up, look it up. In America, Texas is a territory. It's not a state. It's a territory. State lines were created on paper for the U.S. government and to hand you and say, these are states, and you cross these lines where we put these signs that here say, I says, I says is the border, and you're to believe it without question, and you do it. God did not draw no lines in the sand or in the dirt and say, okay, here's all this that I've created, all these lines in the dirt and the sand that you can see that says what's what, so you can call it whatever you want. God did not create us and create that for what we're under today. He didn't create it for that. He didn't create us to divide ourselves up. He didn't create us to hate each other. You're not reading the Bible right. You're picking and choosing. You can't pick and choose in the Holy Bible when the Old Testament's still in that Bible. All the holy words of God. All of it is the words of God, is what it says in there. Written on paper, and I'll say in my opinion, as hearsay. Because there's no real actual physical evidence that it come from God. It's just said, oh, God talked to me, and then I put it. When you do your job, and you're thinking about your job, how you do it and everything, and you have a job where you can think of new shit to write down, to create, and have other people to believe. That's the way the Bible was written and created. Same way. Written on paper, it said here, and God told me. Everything's believed by hearsay. Politics, religion. Yeah, we know there's a God, period. When we're in danger and we're by ourselves or even with other people and we're in danger, guess what we do? Automatically, naturally. Help me. There's a lot of people that do that when they're on the grounds out there at war. Please keep me safe. Even the ones who didn't believe eventually says that when their life is in danger and they've been told that there's a God, even if they haven't been told. That is always a natural thing. Now the ones that are messed up in the head enough, they don't believe it. They choose to purely not believe. And that's a choice. It may be somewhere in there, but there's no God. Even though they may want to call out, there's no God. They choose to believe that. Everything's based upon hearsay, and then you believe in it. That's how this world runs. That's how this country's been ran. All based upon hearsay. You live your life right, do no harm, live and let live, you know, you ain't going anywhere else but to heaven. All this crap everybody tells you that you should do, you should believe, you're supposed to question them. Because it's even stated in the Bible, beware of those who come out as prophets of God and say that they are of God, for they are false prophets of God. And you don't look at that person and always question them and watch them and keep an open mind to make sure that that person is on the right track, is on the right path, and is telling you the truth. You just ignorantly and blindly believe because they say something and you like it and you just believe it. I believe nothing from anyone, and I question everything. Even if I might believe something, I'll still have that little bit of doubt. And then when I see what I see, it confirms the doubt. I don't have to believe them no more. If they're not true to everything they say, they show in their actions something else. Because actions speak louder than words. That's how you know. You know through their actions. Words is just hearsay. Actions makes the speech. Shows the common sense. You know, you can see the common sense in their actions to what they say. But then you see their actions and then they say other stuff that they didn't do or said it's going to do, didn't do, you know, or said they was going to do this, but then they do something else. But as long as they keep telling you what you want to hear, that you like, you're going to forget that. Oh, they're not that bad. They're telling me what I like to hear. That's those people that you let be above you. That's how they're looking at you. They're laughing at your ass. And you think all this crap's real when it's all fake. It's a show. The greatest show on earth because they know this is it. This is the final one. World War III is the last one. If we count from these three. World War III is the last one. 1, 2, 3. World War III is the last war. It's always been said that World War III would be the last war. World War IV would be fought with stones and all. That's even a lie because we have what we need to make bullets and guns and whatever still. Now, if you can't make guns and you can't make bullets, yeah. Well, the last war, or World War IV, will be fought with sticks and stones and shovels and pitchforks and, you know, like the old days before guns were created. So, leave what you want. Don't do the research. Just you know, be ignorant and stupid and keep being a sheeple. Keep believing these, you know, professionals of deceit. Just keep them in power over you because that's what they are. They're all professionals of deceit. They are professionals of deceit. And they have deceived you all.